right, have and have not fans. Bow chicka wow wow. Does Hanna have a new love interest? We'll have to wait and see. So, without further ado, hit that like button. Let's try to get to 50 likes on the video. Hit subscribe because your subscribe now helps me reach 1,000,000 subscribers later. Also, follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And click the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Now, without further ado, let's go into the topic. Now, Al is a newly introduced character, and I feel like that's been a trend this entire season, especially since the show came back in August. Every episode, let's introduce somewhere between 1 to 3 new characters. Yeah, we'll do that. It's the main cast. They're just going to be, lawn ornaments or, Christmas decorations. They're there, so they're there, but they're just going to be there for show, and that's about it. So, Al apparently is like an accountant, and Hanna called, is like, oh, apparently I'm guessing Marty told Al all about Hanna and stuff, and honestly, I went back to rewatch the scene to see if there's anything I missed. Basically, no. I think I covered everything in the live stream and in my episode review, which I recorded prior to this video. Al is an accountant. He's aware of Hanna, who she is, the fact that she's new to the game of being an executor, aka the head of an estate. There's a lot she doesn't know, and apparently they go to church together. She has seen her around, but just never had the nerve to go up to her and say hello. He's going to come over to Catherine's house so they can discuss everything in person. And he's going to do it for no charge for, a fellow member of the church. But he asked for coffee, and I'm like, what? I watch Luke Cage. I know what coffee means, but no, he just means, hey, if you can make a good cup of coffee, we're even. And so Al will be coming over soon. Now, will Al come before or after Benny does whatever he does to Derek? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. All I got to say is this. I feel like this episode was just once again yet another example of Tyler Perry rinsing and repeating. What is it? Rinse, wash, and repeat, or wash, rinse, repeat, whatever that saying is. We brought up, the doctor who went to see Jim mentioned that he knows someone who could help Wyatt. Okay. Oh, Veronica's making passes at Samuel and Benny because she's horny. Okay. Catherine, the fact that they made fun of the running gag in this episode was something else. The chief was like, hey, does everyone know who she is? Catherine Crier. I'm like, yeah. So once again, here's another one. It's like, Hannah's in a bit of a mishap and she needs assistance. Oh, it's an attractive man who knows what he can do to help her out, but also someone who might be a potential love interest and someone who might be involved with the church. So yeah, there we go. Derek and Hanna went to different churches, but Derek is a deacon. That was mentioned, but So in any case, Al's going to come over, and I'm like, could this be the love interest to end all love interest? Because at this point, it's like everyone in this show who shows up has either an agenda or a checkered past. I'm not that excited. I want to be completely honest. Excuse me, I'm getting sleepy just talking about the subject. I'm sorry. I feel like this show has just once again, over and over, time and time again, it's like they give us hope for a good story, but then it falls flat on its face. Let me put it this way. Here are 2 things that I hope don't happen. Number 1, this dude turns out to be an ass. He's like not what he appears to be. And I'm not trying to judge him either, because we've only gotten 3 minutes of screen time with him on the phone. So him and Hanna haven't even met in person. So there's that aspect of it, because I want Hanna to be happy for real. And then secondly, what Benny and Derek's dynamic was the entire time Benny and Derek were interacting, this had better not be what Benny does to Al. Al, I hope you kick Benny's ass if he tries to be this overprotective mama's boy, especially because Hanna is at work right now. That's all I'm saying. So if, let's say, Al pulls up and Benny happens to be there, and then Benny acting like, whoa, what are you doing here? And it's like, I'm an accountant, I'm doing my job. So I hope if Al turns out to be the next potential love interest, I hope he's the one that puts Benny's ass in his place. That's all I'm saying. And on top of that, let's talk about continuity. Don and John were the accountants who were supposed to be. Well, then again, you could argue that Don and John will still meet with Hanna at some point. But the thing is, the way this episode set it up, because Al was like, oh yeah, I was going to call you, or I was expecting your call because Marty said you call. Well, then again, let's see. The accountants were the ones who wanted to meet with Hanna, but then Hanna, I don't even care. But basically, Don and John, well, no. Don and John are Catherine's accountants. So isn't that who Hanna would be speaking to? But then Al, he's just a random account. Again, this story is confusing as hell. I'm losing myself as always trying to make heads. Look, that's my job to try to make heads or tails of it. But when it's so contrived and confusing, like maybe, Al said he was an accountant, because I was about to say, well, maybe Al holds multiple positions. But no, it's like, oh, us accountants, we don't really speak unless it's in the term of spreadsheets. So I have no earthly idea. We'll just have to wait and see. If he's the new love interest, by all means, let's see what happens with that. But I don't know. I don't think. Derek. Well, that'll be interesting. The whole Al and Derek dynamic, how that will go. But then again, it looks like he's probably going to get his ass beat or get killed by Benny. We'll have to wait and see. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Do you think Hannah's about to get it on? Do you think she'll go further with Al than she did with Derek? Derek and Hanna were in bed together, but it didn't go too far thanks to Benny. But again, as always, I appreciate you watching my content. Let me know your thoughts below. And as always, if you would like to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.